Probably. But, you know, isn't that the regular?
Exactly.
Also, the next Halo, the online's going to be completely free. Like, you don't have to buy the game.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I actually have to post to my actual channel that I'm streaming. I don't know if most people are going to be on today because it's very hot. They're probably out doing stuff. There might only be an hour stream today.
Probably have social lives. And like losers like us, am I right? Do.
What's announcement? Announcement here. At everybody. Let's go.
Let's go, squad.
Yahoo. It's my favorite search
Gamers
engine.
unite. Do.
Okay, so I want to try to do something quickly with the floorboards and the texture. I hate when you wobble. When you wobble a window left and right really quickly, it will minimize everything but that window.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have never done that.
And because I got 3 monitors, if you get slightly slow when trying to get through to one of the monitors, it will hit onto the edge. So I'll be like hitting the edge, and then it would think I'm wobbling, and it would be like, oh, so you want to minimize everything? I'm like, no, hey Dev Ninja, but I don't want to minimize everything. Stop this. Stop it. Get some help. All right. Tessellation. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to put my camera on. I'll put my camera on cinema. But additionally, I'm very, very hot. I was debating taking off my shirt.
Oh,
the chat will love it.
We're getting a show today, boys.
For anyone scared, I will not be taking off my shirt. I'm not allowed.
Well.
That sucks.
I regret coming on the stream.
Dude, I'm trying to get through Death Notebook at the moment. Oh boy.
Death Notebook. Is it not just called Death Note?
Yeah. I'm saying the book because it's the one thick book I've got.
Oh, is that the name for it?
No. I was just saying the book, meaning the big book. But like it is thick. I'm on page.
Extra thick, multiple C's level thick.
Yeah, I'm about page 250 at the moment. But someone was selling the actual normal ones, the actual box set of all 13.
Don't tell me you bought it
for 20 quid. So now that's coming.
You got a problem.
That's fine. So I don't know if BSPs will tessellate very well. That's the question right now.
You don't know if what?
A BSP tessellates very well. I can't remember. I've not used BSPs in a very long time.
I don't think I ever really messed around with tessellation.
If not, I can't really use tessellation for this. Multiply by 5. I watched Loki recently.
Oh, don't spoil anything.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's really good. Unless you consider that a spoiler.
Oh, I am watching it now.
Now I know it's good.
God, how disappointing.
Oh my god, yeah, it does not work very well with a
You're telling me that BSPs don't do something well? Well, I'll be.
Who could have thought? Have I got a high poly pain playing in the scene? I do like me some high poly pain.
I love me any kind of plane.
Oh, it doesn't work very well. Oh, wait. Well, it'd probably help if I actually... did this. And actually had the planks in the right location. Oh, my lord. Well, it's kind of doing it, but not... A little bit over the top. What does it look like on this? Yeah. Unfortunate. It's not going to work on that. Because what I would have done is I just made this weak. Like Jake. Needs chicken legs.
Chicken legs? Lieutenant Dan. I ain't got chicken legs.
Got chicken legs. Doesn't quite work anyway. Not bad, that's it. Alright. So ignore that and we'll get rid of the tessellation. I wrote a big statement in chat about like understanding that time spent on an asset doesn't necessarily mean productive time.
Right, yeah.
I compared it
Like,
to I compared it to Jason in university.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was in a group with Callum and he spent like 2-3 weeks on a single asset, and don't get me wrong, it looks really good. But they obviously needed a lot of assets because we was making a game at the time. Like,
if it's a show asset for a portfolio, then yeah, put some time on maybe. But
yeah, pretty much. But I was just saying about how important it is to identify that time. What's this?
Don't listen to him, chat. Spend a bajillion years on every asset.
Well, I was like, if you spent 2 weeks on one asset, that means you only make 26 a year. When you make it into that comparison, it's like, wow, actually, yeah, that's not a lot. So I was trying to explain to my the junior artist at my company at the moment. Like, she was like, but I'm not as fast as you. And I was like, that's fine. But if you're making, like, one very small asset a week... she's sped way up now, so this isn't relevant anymore, but it was relevant. That one, if you do one a week, small assets, 52 assets, that's not a lot of assets in a year. Because small assets are made all the time for the game.
Yeah, you want to be going through a number a week, right? Otherwise, you need a lot of asset designers.
I'm the environment artist. And I'm not spending all my time making props anyway, but even I have made 75 assets since I started. But we told her, like, oh, don't expect you to be the level of me because she's only a junior. That's sort of the point. But if speed isn't being picked up, that defeats the purpose of being a trainee/junior at the same time.
Yeah, you got to learn some skills, right? That's the whole point of taking on someone of a low level, right?
Pretty much. Is Blender frozen? Hello. Oh, what the hell did I do? I went into scripting somehow. That was weird. I'm scripted. I'm cheating. Hacker man. I think that's always been my favorite. There you go. We'll do the ones next to each other. Gonna call it Bucket. Pretty simple name.
Bucket?
Yeah.
Is it a bucket?
It is a bucket with a sponge.
That's with a sponge. Well, that's bad naming convention right there.
Oh, you know what?
I don't know what the asset is from the name.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'll call this specific FBX bucket and sponge, but I'll separate them out when I'm actually trying to import them.
Smart. You hear that, chat? My man Steve, he's smart. He's big brain.
It's debatable.
Yeah. You're not wrong. But...
I feel like a genius sometimes at my company there, because there's not really any technical artists there. So yeah. I'll do one little thing, they're like, whoa! I'm like, it's a couple of tick boxes, guys. I mean, yes. Praise
Yes,
me.
I am a genius.
That's so funny.
I have baked the lighting. What a class.
I clicked bake.
I turned it from low to high.
Let's go.
Ah!
Let's get this sort of center grid. Actually, it should be on this part. The Resident Evil mangas are pretty good.
The what is?
The Resident Evil manga.
Who does it follow? Is it Leon or something, I'm guessing? Or
No,
Chris,
it's
or...
a new story, but Chris is in it.
Okay.
And he's yeah, he's important. I'm like trying to think how important he is. Yeah, he's pretty important. It's before the events of Resident Evil 6.
Ugh. Fair enough. Oh wait, no, 6 was the one that went back to horror a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you liked 6.
I haven't played it, but I've just
Oh,
heard
right.
things about it. That's the first person one, right? In the
Yeah,
house.
in the house, yeah.
My brother loved that.
house.
My brother's a bit of a aficionado when it comes to Resident Evil, so if he says it's a good Resident Evil, I normally trust him.
Well, they
Pretty
did
much.
go. They started going obviously not for horror anymore, did they? They was
Yeah,
like,
it
oh, we'll
became
make an
more
action.
action than...
Apparently they've kind of started doing that a little bit again for Village.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never played Village, but I did watch a playthrough of Village, and I was like, this actually looks amazing. I kind of wish I had played it after watching the playthrough, because it was a YouTuber I liked, and I was like, oh, I'll just watch it. If it's not something I'm probably going to be interested in, but I was like, oh, this actually looks really good. Kind of sad I didn't invest in getting this.
Well, it's never too late, Steve.
Yeah,
Instead of buying 5 billion manga, you could buy one game for the same price.
I've already got Sekiro to play.
Yeah, true. And
Code
Code
Vein,
Vein.
yeah.
woohoo.
And I bought games a while ago that I just really get around to playing, like 2-Bit Hospital and stuff.
I see.
2-Bit? 2-Point Hospital? I actually can't remember. 2-Point, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2 point. Wonder what the 2 points stand for.
Don't know. I got a lot of stuff I need to play, so I should get around to that. Then again, I got a lot of stuff I need to read now as well. Always gives me something to do. I mean, buying books and stuff, like I got a bunch of comics as well. I actually had comics to begin with that my brother gave me years ago. Was to have actually something to help decorate a place when I get it. A bookshelf with some books on it. Pog.
So you look like an educated man.
And then they realize
But
it's all
no,
manga.
it's cool.
And they're like, oh, hold on a minute.
I have an AI in like the turret of this vehicle I'm driving, and he keeps shooting corpses like a bajillion times after he kills them.
Ah! Are we sure they're dead? You've put like 20, you've put like 200 rounds in them.
It's like a railgun kind of turret as well, and they're definitely dead if they get hit by this thing once.
I always still wanted comics as well, and I wanted something to do that was outside of being on the PC, and it's the only thing I can really... A chill thing, and it's the only thing I can really think of. I don't want to sew and stuff like that, so...
Have you considered the gym?
That's not
Or
chill.
becoming a big tonk?
I'm
Be like
already
Jack,
a big
just
dog.
go for walks.
I do
always
go for
impressed
walks quite
that Jack
often.
can just go for walks. I just get bored going for walks.
I usually go for that's it. Well, we go to Sainsbury's, but we don't often actually shop.
You go to Sainsbury's all the time.
Yeah, I don't often shop there. It's just for the walk.
You just walk to Sainsbury's. Why not walk somewhere else?
Just
Why
like
not
a,
walk somewhere natural?
it's just like, well, we got a beach next to us, but it gets very boring very quickly.
But
Gets
Sainsbury's is exciting.
Well, there's a lot because we're a seaside town. There's a lot of shops to look like through the windows and stuff to get like just see interesting things. About a 3 mile walk we do. Sometimes we
Fair enough.
take it long and go to the beach instead.
I'll trust you. I'll trust you.
I said to Jack, I was like, yeah, every day or every other day I go for like a 3 mile walk, and he was like, ah, good one. I was like, no, I I do like. It's like, wow, thanks, Jack. Hey, Letborn. I was actually able to cut out the walks recently because of the chest pain I've been getting, so I haven't been going recently, unfortunately. Because they think the only thing it could be is muscular pain and stuff, so they said basically avoid, you know, long exercise. They pretty much told me not to exercise. I wanna actually say, which I felt was incorrect. They probably shouldn't have said cut out all exercise, but they pretty much said that.
Exercises for the week.
God, my blood test the other day.
Yeah.
I stared at it the entire time, so I'm scared of needles. So I wanted to be like, oh, I'll try to get over it. If I stare at it, it might help. I was fine, you know. I've never been anyone who faints during them or anything like that. I'm scared of them, but I've never been someone who particularly looks like he's scared of them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you seem quite calm.
Yeah, I'm relatively calm when I actually have them. But she freaking missed twice. So I just got like stabbed twice in the left arm, and she couldn't get the vein. And then she wanted me to laying down. I was like, oh, can I not? That feels way worse. It's like, oh, okay, because she thought it'd be more relaxing for me. I'm like, no, that's opposite relaxing. I can't see anything that's going on, even if I wanted to, because of the angle. That's horrible. She was very understanding, and she felt really bad for me because I told her I was particularly like scared of them, saying, you know, and she was like, oh, you know, a lot of people are. It's not just you. She's like, I'll try my best to make it as painless as possible.
You call you a pansy.
Well, that's the thing that people don't realize either. The pain also doesn't bother me at all. Not even a little. It's like a little scratch. It really doesn't feel much anyway. It's just, I don't know. It's the idea. It's an irrational fear. I've always said this because my parents think it's because when I was a kid, my twin brother went to have his, you know, the vaccines and stuff you get as a kid.
Yeah.
Whatever they are. It's like measles, mumps, rebellion, stuff like that. And I had, apparently Robert went in, my twin, and he screamed his head off when he had it. And my parents said, and then when I went in, I was like, before they even got the needle out, when they got the needle out, should I say, I started screaming, and they went, yeah, they think it may have been because, like, it derived from that.
I mean, that sounds like how childhood trauma starts.
Yeah, right. So I was like, that's probably the reason. I was like, that is definitely feasible.
So you can blame your brother for everything.
Mate, I wasn't even allowed to see Santa Claus as a child because of my brother.
He was scared of Santa?
Yep, he was scared of dressed up people.
My brother was the same.
Oh, really?
Matt went into school when he was in year 1, and he hid under the table and cried.
But yeah, I wasn't allowed to see Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, anything. I wasn't allowed to see anything dressed up because if it took me, then obviously I have to take my twin brother. Otherwise, it'd be unfair, quote unquote. So I wasn't allowed to see any of that stuff. I was like, oh. I wonder why I didn't believe in any of that stuff as a child. I don't ever remember believing in something like Santa Claus.
You didn't miss out.
Fat man, he eats your cookies, drinks your milk. What an evil man. In exchange for gifts? Oh.
What a materialistic pig.
Apex has been wacky lately.
Oh, yeah?
You just either wreck or get wrecked.
I haven't had any invites recently.
I've been playing a lot with Ben recently.
Ugh.
I can I can invite you to. Oh, okay.
I'd be happy to play with Ben. I'm always happy to play with anyone.
Ben is such like he is the worst for loot lusting I've ever seen. For anyone in chat who doesn't know what loot lusting means, it's basically someone who would rather go get loot than, well, pretty much than anything else. So it will cause them to die because they're busy getting loot than actually shooting back at the enemy a lot of the time. And Ben is terrible for it. Like, we have died so many times because he rushed a death box. Usually someone I killed as well rushed a death box that was flashing gold or something. Even though he's fully kitted, he already has all the gear he needs. He's like, he just runs towards it and dies. The latest one, he was Gibraltar, and we were sitting up in like, I can't bother to explain the map. Basically, we're sitting up in like a spot with someone who puts down shields trying to save the spot. We knew there was 3 teams near us, and we just killed one. And then about 150 meters away, he sprints towards their gold drop, like their death box. And then we got rushed by a team of 3 while he was off doing the loot. And then he died on his own anyway. And I was just like, Ben, why was you 150 meters away from us?
Because he's a gamer.
Definitely. There was even these reactions. Oh, it wasn't my fault. And I was like, The funny thing about that, though, if he was like a pro gamer and then he 1v6s the 2 teams that are killing us, he'd be like, see, it works. I'm like, oh, no. Just because it works doesn't mean but just because it works doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. I love that. It's always such a funny, like, thing. We'll keep them. Well, actually, I can have that separated. But that's a separate mesh. Loot legends, like my friends like to call it. Yeah, exactly. Azro. Exactly.
Loot legends.
Yeah.
Pretty good name for it.
I'm very sort of, if I've already got sort of 2 weapons I like, and I've got like purple armor and basically all the stuff you would ever want, enough ammo, I don't even look at like death boxes if I think someone could be close or anything like that. Like if I really truly think, oh, no one's here, like you're in the middle of nowhere and you just killed a team in the middle of nowhere, sure, but if I have everything I want, I'm just sort of like, it's fine. It's not like my target to go get the boxes.
The loot.
The loot, man. The loot.
Pretty colors.
When it is flashing red, I'm a little bit more keen, especially if I've got blue armor, because I'm like, oh, you know, red armor, that's extra 50 HP from my blue armor. I'm like,
HP.
HP. Like sometimes, I play tons of Apex, and dude, third party in Apex is so bad. Oh yeah, I know. Like you kill one team and then the whole lobby runs there. Like sometimes the entire lobby is at the same place, mate. It's when you kill one squad. Like, okay, well, let's start healing up. Oh, another squad's here. You don't get a chance to heal up, or if you do, you're very desperate to do it. You kill that squad. Okay, right, let's heal up. Oh my god, it's like you just get one squad after another. I think me and my friend Dom have probably killed 3, maybe even 4 squads like that until finally the last squad appeared and killed us, and we were just like, what do we do? It always feels so rough.
Same. I just can't help myself from killing them all the time, you know?
Yeah, easy peasy.
I'm a pro gamer, chat. I'm a strategic gamer. Let's go with that.
Me, Dom looks up, Jake, miles away. Oh yeah, but we're getting here. Oh, right. Let's go.
Hey man, I'm a noob when it comes to Apex. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like every time after a fight now, I just heal ASAP and loot for 2 seconds. Yeah, I always heal first instead of looting. Always. There might be the odd occasion where I've not realized I've taken damage to my shield, but yeah, that's always my like first objective. You know, after I've killed a team, it's heal up, get moving. Unless the zone is coming in and you know no one's going to be there because the zone's just gone past you as like as you've killed the team, you know no one's going to really show up at that point most of the time. Sometimes you will get someone appear, but yeah, it's just mental how much people people treat the game, which is understandably, treat the game like it's just normal deathmatch most of the time. They'd rather die killing 5 people than win because it's usually more fun. Whereas me and Dom will sometimes rat out the entire game because we won't.
That game where we all split up.
Oh, that was hilarious! Yeah, we jumped off the airship and we all just went different directions, and we said we can't meet up until the 3rd ring or something, or 10 minutes. I can't remember. We had
I
some
think
sort
it was
of.
until there was 5 squads left or something.
Oh, it was the amount of squads, right? We weren't allowed to meet up until a certain number of squads. I think it was like 5 because only 20 total, right? In a trio. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was so fun. Wait,
And yeah, me and Dom did not survive, and then Steve did survive, like literally right under a squad for ages, right?
Oh god, yeah, I believe so. Every time I make like these grand escapes, playing with any of my mates, where it's like, how? Like when Ben did a really weird thing. He was someone called Rampart, which is I assume Azro, someone who plays it, knows who that is, but she can put down those. She's the one that puts down those barriers that you shoot through.
Oh.
Yeah, so one engine can shoot through it, does bonus damage, the other end it acts as a shield. He put one of those down, we was next to a rock, and we're being charged by a team. Ben decides to press tab and start dropping shields on the floor. They ran around the corner and killed Ben, and I was like, Ben, what were you doing? I was dropping shield cells for you, shield batteries for you. I was like, but we were being rushed.
Sounds like a gamer move.
I was like, what? It reminds me of stuff that like Jack used to do in League of Legends.
Oh god. That was some gameplay.
But Ben was like, I didn't know we were being rushed. I was like, we were being shot at, and if I showed you the situation, you'd be like, how would you not know you were being rushed? It was one of those situations. It was so funny. I was like, okay. I survived though. That's the whole point of the story. I was Octane and I ran away all 3 of the squad members. There was another squad attacking us as well. And I, you know, like obviously you stem and then run faster.
Yeah.
You can stem at 1 HP and basically just won't put you below 1. I was doing that and sprinting and they just couldn't land a shot because what they had to do was land 1.
Oh, no.
And they just couldn't do it. It was so funny. Rampart is the Fortnite legend. Oh, I actually made that joke yesterday. So she's like, Fortnite, you shoot her and she just puts down shields to soak up some shots. They're really good though.
We love Fortnite.
I've been playing Loba recently because Loba because she's the one that puts down that shop where you can collect and being able to just collect as much ammo as you want is pretty great.
She just seems super strong early on, like, and
yeah,
it's nice obviously later as well.
I mean, I was playing mainly Octane with Ben because I felt like I had to perform more aggressively playing with Ben.
I wonder why.
Ben is not bad at the game, I would say. He's just got really weird decision making.
So he's good at the micro, bad at the macro.
Yeah, but he uses a controller. So I don't know if he can be much better than he is on a controller, really. I don't really know how much the controller limits your performance.
I mean, if it's decision-making issues, then I don't think that has anything to do with the controller.
Yeah, true. I mean, he had like 4 games in a row where combined he didn't even do over 100 damage.
That just sounds like me. Could you stop insulting me, please?
Loba has something else that's also pretty great. Oh, I think I know what it said. Her little teleporter, right? Like the thing she throws and teleports to a location.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat little device.
Pretty cool.
Got.
Oh wait, I want to get this into ZBrush. What am I doing?
Don't you hate on games where you're like right near the end of an animation for a reload or something, then you swap weapon and it
Dude, it
Does that
happens
count?
all the time on Apex. Especially because I play Silent Octane, so I want to press Q, and it's like the magazine's in the freaking gun. I'm like, that's it, and then I press Q, and I go to shoot someone. It's like, all right, and they take the magazine out essentially that they've just put in because the animation didn't finish. I'm like,
Yeah, I just put my rockets in the barrel of my rocket launcher, swapped weapons, and went back, and my rocket launcher had no bullets in it, no rockets. It was
he is the worst, dude.
I am making progress. I don't know how much progress. I can't remember how long this level is.
Hold on a minute. Why did they bring in that? Excuse me. I'm gonna put it separately. I take. How do I get rid of this now? There's so many things in ZBrush where I still don't know how to control certain things, so I just tend to restart the software. No, I know like all the basic stuff, and then there will see something that comes along, and I'm just like, how do I fix this? People always say ZBrush is really good for controls, but I feel like ZBrush has the weirdest control scheme. When you do get used to it, it can feel smooth.
It's
but
quite customizable, isn't it?
maybe, I don't actually know. I know a lot of people say the default is pretty good. But it's kind of like Blender, where when you get used to it, sure, but if you are new to it, God forbid, that'd be so frustrating to relearn. I think if I had to relearn any software, like someone could say, oh, we're taking your memories of the software out and then you have to relearn it. Blender. I don't think Blender takes too much time. It's just a bit awkward to use at the start. But when you do get it down, it feels really good. Whereas ZBrush, so many things in here that I still don't understand. Let's make love.
Well, I remember Maya was pretty easy to learn. That was very user-friendly, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you got... I still use all the buttons rather than the marking menus.
The marquees.
Was it marquees? I had a feeling it was marquees, but I can't remember. Yeah, I don't particularly use the marquee menus. I use still the buttons.
Yeah, which, I mean, you could make your own custom thing, so I don't see any reason not to use it.
I always said I found it interesting because I always found that... So I always found that people who played a lot of FPS games tend to prefer the clicking, the menus, but people who played a lot of MMORPGs usually tend to prefer the marquee menus. Yeah. So I remember asking people while in university about it because I was curious, and yeah, it tend to fall under those two things. So that's really interesting. It makes sense. Once again, you get to be here for me doing wood.
Say what?
Doing some wood.
Ah! I thought the mission was over.
Did you die?
No, but enemies started attacking me again. It's a sad life when everyone you see wants to kill you.
It's my life. I'm scared of forgetting Blender while I'm becoming accustomed to Maya. It's already pretty awkward working with both softwares at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot at the moment with my work. I'm always jumping between Blender and Maya. I want to turn this down and then press harder so we get bigger ones. Honestly, if you're able to swap between softwares, like just like it's natural, oh, that is a talent right there. That's so difficult.
I never forget my buttons. Never.
That's when I used to play Worms with my friend Adam.
Nope.
So Adam was like a PC gamer, but he'd come over and me, Ben, and Adam would play Worms. We literally set up all night, like we did an all night, and all we did was play Worms. It's hilarious. And
Classic.
and for some reason, Adam just could not wrap his head around the controls, despite
was
using
it
it.
jump and melee by any chance?
It was jump and shoot. So yeah, essentially the
I,
same thing.
I remember having that issue on Worms Armageddon.
It was like we're
That
joking
one time I
around.
jump off to my death.
Yeah, and he'd be like looking to aim his shot and everything, and then straight into the lava and water. It was like every time. It was so funny, man.
And Worms is a great game. I love that game.
I wonder what the new ones are like. I haven't played like the super new ones.
The last one I played was Worms 3D or something like that.
Worms 3D.
I think so, yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
Fully 3D.
Yeah. That's a really old game.
Oh. I thought you were like, oh, I don't remember that.
No. Worms 3D release date 2003.
I think that was the one I was talking about. It had a giant iron donkey on it, which I thought was very entertaining.
Was it still side scrolling?
No.
No, okay. So yeah, that was definitely
Yeah, it was
3D.
a fully 3D game. It was the future.
I just hate doing UV mapping in Blender, but exporting the FBX around Blender, Maya, and Unreal is just really awkward. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm pretty much the same. You've seen plenty of my streams of me exporting out just to I mean, I literally just did it with this asset, just a UV map in Maya, because Maya is just much more preferred. Should probably make these bigger. Again, with the style we do, we want quite big detailing, which I have a habit of then not doing. I'm like, oh, look at this small, like, wood grain I'm doing. I'm like, no. I need it much bigger than that. Got a tutorial today, releasing at 5 o'clock. Spoilers.
What tutorial is it, Steve?
I can't spoil it.
Well, consider me disappointed.
No, it's not.
I won't be watching it.
Oof. I forget about your the game you're making.
Hey, you know me. I'm a big gamer, me.
I'm hanging out with Jack a little bit later, which would be nice.
Doing anything nice?
Just think more watching stuff.
Hog.
Jack seems very against the idea of he does it, but he seems very against the idea of hanging out like online on a computer, which I understand. But when it's the only option with a couple of people I know, I think it's fine.
Yeah, like I'm happy to hang out in person, but it's not
Yeah, when it's much more convenient to do it over a computer, it just feels pretty good because of how convenient it is.
I mean, Steve, neither you or Jack have ever come to visit me.
You're not wrong. I was trying to get Jack to visit me, and he won't admit that he just didn't want to travel the other way. Until at the end, I was like, Jack, I'm by the seaside. There's plenty to do here. And then he's like, I'm going to be straight with you, Steve. I don't really want to go to Great Yarmouth. I was like, uh-oh.
At least he was honest. Eventually.
So then you got my mate, Ben, who I feel like Ben would rather travel to people. I don't know if that is true or if he's just always done it because like he has a car. But he's always felt like the person who wants to travel to people rather than get you to travel to him.
Sounds like a nice guy to
Yeah.
have about.
Well, I usually say, like, if he travels here, I'll make up all the dinners and pay for all of that kind of stuff. It was like when you visited me and Jack, and I was trying to,
And then you try to make me pay for
I tried to make you
everything.
pay for everything. Yeah.
Oh, God. Let me tell you, chat. Steve, great 3D artist, terrible person.
Oof.
It is what it is, really. It is what it is.
So when we finish getting all the detailing in this, not Jake, this is to our chat. I'm going to then put stuff like this on, so we can have like cuts on it. But I feel like it's better to do it afterwards, so we can have it like, sure, I could put it on like one piece, but if I did want it to go against both of them, it's way easier when they're all already done.
What was your YouTube channel called? I thought it was The Gamer Guy, but then he has just a Roblox channel.
That is my gaming channel.
Is it?
Yeah. No, not the Roblox one.
Oh.
But the name is The Gamer Guy. Or is it like
Yeah.
X? It might be like XX The Gamer Guy. It's like,
No,
let's
they
take
were
it.
just The Gamer Guy, all lowercase.
Oh, no, it's Steve's Gaming now. I forgot. I changed it a while back.
Steve's Game.
Everyone in chat, actually, you got a gaming channel?
Fuck. What's your channel called, Steve? I can't find it.
Just Steve's Gaming, but what's the link?
I meant the YouTube, like the 3D one.
Oh, 3D one. Steve's Tutorial.
These tutorials.
Yeah, people always like,
you're
not-
in the chat.
people always like, you're not subscribed. Yeah, not too many people always say. Like I said, they're probably out enjoying the sun, to be honest. But we were getting really good lately, actually. I got like 20 constant viewers the other day.
Good. I'm glad that you're having success because you deserve it.
Thanks. I was looking at my old like farm scene,
Oh yeah.
and I was looking at some of the assets, and I was like, this is like still pretty good stuff. I thought I'd look at the stuff and be like, oh, old trash, but no, I was really like, oh wow, this actually I could still take these out and reuse them somewhere else.
It's a great scene. I enjoyed it.
It's probably one of my favorite scenes I ever made, just because it was fun to have the people in the chat, stuff like that. It's when the Twitch channel was a little bit more active before it died.
God.
I still got a couple people who asked me to go back on Twitch, but when videos get instantly uploaded after streams, and some days I have been getting like 20 viewers, it's just like, what's the point?
I don't know.
Well, I remember someone saying like, but it's not about like the viewership and all that, and I was like, well, even though I don't agree that it is about the viewership is like still something I want to aim towards, to know that people are actually watching the content. And at least on, I get like 200 views after it's uploaded as a VOD on YouTube, so I know people are at least watching it.
Yeah,
After.
I can see that. I can see that. I definitely find watching VODs a lot easier on YouTube. Whenever I watch League stuff, I normally watch it on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Twitch, it's just kind of, it's just a bit janky.
Well,
sometimes.
I've never been much of a live stream watcher anyway.
Yeah, imagine watching people play games.
Well, people get really excited for just the sort of idea that like you're watching them live, you get to interact with them live. But with that said, I also know quite a few people who never comment or anything. So I say to them, isn't that the same? I know people like the feel of it being live, which has never really bothered me. I don't comment while they're streaming, so to me it doesn't feel like it matters whether they're live or not.
Yeah, I don't comment. But for me, I guess the pros of it is that it's nice to feel like you're there in the moment with everyone.
Yeah.
Which is like if you watched it not live, if you watched it like a day later, exactly the same, but just feels different to me, you know. So it's one of those illogical things, but hey, you know how that is.
I know what the peeps are like when they want to be illogical.
Like you.
Yeah. God, I love reading like random stuff that people have done. I'm just like, that makes no sense. So if someone does something, especially when someone does something bad, but like, even if it worked out for them, it wasn't gonna have like a benefit to them to begin with. And I'm just like, wait, so why did they even do it? And it go down this like rabbit hole of just like there not really being a reason.
I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to get my credit card information.
Oh my
so
god.
I can spend money on the online world
You're gonna
wide web.
donate?
No. If I had money to donate,
It would not go to me.
I didn't say that, Steve. You're putting words in my mouth.
Oh, you're right.
I wouldn't do that to you. Whether I'm talking about donating to you or not donating to you, you don't know. I'm just not. I wouldn't do that to you.
3 more left. And then it's wood, metal, 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 metal. So, not too much wood left after that. I need the music a little louder. I mean, we want to be able to hear Jake as well. So I usually say music 50% lower, maybe even 40%, 60% lower than the person speaking, and then the person speaking at like 70% of my volume, so that way I'm the main speaker. I feel like that's how it sort of works on the YouTubes, usually. I just realized, do these have... These don't have verts coming down the middle. So I'm making them sort of bump out, but I don't know how well that's actually going to work. I should have, before exporting it, put a vertice down the middle. And I could do that now. Oh. That way it will compensate for that detailing that's bumping out. Because it being flat and I've brought loads of detail out, it's not going to pick it very... not going to pick it up very well in the low poly. So if I bring that out instead like this, it can at least try to pick... Well, actually, that won't work from this part, because that part also needs to get thicker. So the best way to do that...
I'm back, boys.
Hello. Maybe I'll export it as a second low poly. I'm not fussed about poly count.
No, Steve doesn't care.
When I'm doing a fun scene.
No, for 6,000 vehicles for him.
Dude, I remember like trying to explain to people that the poly count of something I'd made wasn't that high. Because like I was showing them, I was like, yeah, but look, and I went to like that old post we saw in university when they're Wild Off tanks who have like 20 tanks in the field at once. Their tanks are over 100,000 polygons. And that was well, they were. That was back when we was in university. They're probably much higher than that now. So I was like, yeah, so, you know, you don't need to worry too much about that poly count budget if you're not looking to put it on like a toaster.
That's what you think.
With that said, if you can, optimize your poly account. It's always a welcome thing.
You're not wrong.
But look at some games on their first release. Look at like PUBG. Oh my god, that ran like doo doo. That was so bad when it first got released. I think that's something my company's stressing out with at the moment. It's some of those small problems that usually gets ironed out after release anyway. They've got big problems too, but they're also... I want to clarify. But, yeah, like, you obviously don't need to worry about small problems. Like, they're worried about, hey, man, how's it going? Salif and... I said your name really weird last time as well. DA?
Why not just call him Salif? Or Salif?
Because I always try to pronounce the full name first.
Ah. What a heartfelt welcome. Welcome to the chat.
And I always do it terribly.
Yeah.
I do get sometimes off, no, that's how it's said. I'm like, oh, good. That's how I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah, and it was like one of the issues, for example, was something was clipping through something. I said, and one of them was like, we can't have that. And I was like, no, that really doesn't matter. Nobody's going to care that this item is slightly clipping through the character model. No one's even going to realize that happens in almost every game. Any game where you can put armor on somebody, you instantly start seeing like weapons clip through them. My game is not an armor based game. I want to clarify. I'm just giving an example. But it's just something, you don't really need to worry about. But they seem so worried about it. And I was like, no, guys, it's fine. I will clarify, it wasn't my stuff clipping. So I wasn't being biased to it being mine and go, no, it's fine. No, it was someone else's. Maybe it's because my name is French. Exactly. It's when I was talking to someone Russian in chat, and I was like, when I see names like that, it's just crazy because they just have, I guess it's like with a lot of other languages, they just have like some letters that sometimes look familiar, and then they have like a backwards S and like a stuff like this, and I'm just like, hold on a minute. That can't be said the way I think it's said.
So they've got those letters which you don't know how to read them. That's a problem.
An upside down like you're like, hold on a minute. How do I say that? I hope that when I try to pronounce it, because I am doing it jokingly, that you guys do find it funny. And you're not just like, oh my god, he said my name so wrong. I hate it.
What's the difference between a French and a French in quotation marks name?
Is your name French or French? There is a difference.
So one is actually from France, but the other one be like, it originated in France, maybe?
I don't know, but I know that Letterborn knows how to speak a lot of languages.
Oh, cool.
I want to say multilingual, but I feel like I'm saying that completely wrong.
I think multilingual is right if it's many languages. I can't remember what the term is, but I'm French, but my name is from Africa. Oh, there's a lot of French areas in Africa as well, aren't there?
Oh, really?
I seem to remember. Yeah, I was pretty surprised as well. When I was like looking into potentially learning French as a language for work, I did some research, and yeah, apparently quite a lot of areas in Africa, I think it was.
Why didn't you just learn French in school like the rest of us?
I did pass my GCSE in French. I can only remember a handful of phrases now.
Just feel like there's a difference. All right, that makes sense. Wouldn't know how to pronounce it in French. Ah, all right, okay. I think people who can speak multiple languages are just geniuses. Especially past two.
Oh, damn it.
No, honestly, it's so... I know it takes a lot of time, but some people who are like, I could speak 27. I'm just like, hold on a minute.
Yeah,
How?
my friend Derek, who I lived near in Japan, he spoke English, Irish. He was Irish, so that's not that surprising. Spoke pretty good French, some Russian,
Is
fluent
it called
Japanese,
Irish? Do they refer to it as speaking Irish, or do they refer
Gaelic.
to it as? Do they usually say Gaelic, or would they say Irish?
He said Gaelic.
Oh,
He
okay.
was quite big on like Irish culture, like trying to keep it alive.
Right,
Um,
right. Well, I
like, 'cause
remember.
a lot of people can't speak it apparently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. I bet your French is great, Letterborn. I remember. I had a Chinese teacher, and the language called. Well, there's two, isn't there? There's Mandarin and there's.
There's a lot of Chinese languages.
Yeah, but like the
Mandarin's
two
main-
main ones, right? It's Mandarin and it's the other one, but I can't remember its name now.
I can't remember the ones.
For some reason, Tony always says, my brother always says the other one, even though I say no, the most popular, well-known one anyway is usually Mandarin, and he always says the other one. I'm like, no, that one's not as well known. But basically, they were talking in class about speaking Chinese, and I remember walking over and going, no, you don't speak Chinese, at least to him. I don't know how accurate he was in saying this, but he was like, you don't speak Chinese, you speak Mandarin. If you've learned Mandarin, it's not the same as saying you speak English. And I thought that was interesting because obviously, as someone who's English, we just say we speak English.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. My Chinese friend never brought it up when I guess we probably talked about talking Chinese before, but never came up.
Yeah, I wonder if it's something that they commonly say, or if it's more they understand that people say, you know, speak Chinese and they don't really.
Yeah, I
doesn't
imagine
bother
they
them.
just take it as representative, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know. Oh, I got a reply on a job application.
Nice. You're through to the next stage.
Translating a script for audio production for some Japanese company.
I missed this one, so let's see. Some African names are complicated to pronounce for English people. Oh, okay. Is it somewhat like French pronunciation, though, especially given that you live in France, probably? Full stop.
Good questions.
I love it on my chat.
Who was from Africa, which really surprised me. Because, like, she was really, like, this is going to sound racist, but she just seemed like a normal white girl to me.
Right, yeah, I get what you mean.
And, like, I'd known her for a few months at this point. And, yeah, she was actually African. She's called Zosha. Very nice girl. I think she lives in Canada now, I think.
Man, I'd love to move to Canada. It's so nice over there.
I would definitely like to visit Canada. I think I'd probably enjoy living somewhere around Toronto or something. Apparently there's quite a big Asian population around there. Like a lot of food and stuff like that. Because one of my friends lived in Toronto.
I love.
And he worked in a ramen shop or something, or a soba shop.
We have a ramen shop near us. Somewhere.
Oh,
I haven't gone because obviously the lockdown made it so they weren't open for a very long time. But I really want to go, and I hope they might be open now. I have no idea. I've just not got up there, but I really want to go. I love ramen. Ramen is probably my favorite food because there's a lot of contenders. Like I love pizza, I love burgers, I love a lot of American food, but I also love spaghetti bolognese, tagliatelle, a carbonara.
Not my favorite food, but I do enjoy it a lot. I don't have it very often, so I really enjoy it when I do have it.
Yeah, maybe that's why I think it might be my favorite food, just because like it's a much more luxury meal, rather than like I could just I can order a pizza.
It's so funny that ramen is luxury in England.
Yeah, when it's supposed to obviously be sort of the.
Yeah, it's like so cheap and quick in Japan.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
You could go out and order a really big ramen for like £2.50.
That's so good. Do you want to go up there? I will go up there. Like one day, I will go up there. Hopefully one day soon. Now that I've got a job that's giving me enough money to go on holiday. So it's always you say to people like, "Why haven't you been anywhere? Have you been anywhere?" I was like, "Because I don't have the money. Why didn't you go anywhere when you were young? All right. How did you go somewhere when you were young? My parents took me. Okay, so why do you think I haven't been anywhere?
I mean, my first solo trip was in uni, second year.
Mm.
That was kind of half my savings, and then half just making money. And by savings, it was money from my part-time job anyway. I feel like I did quite well.
Worked in the cafe, didn't you?
Did I work in the cafe?
Is it not a cafe? Where did you work?
At uni, I don't think I actually worked, did I?
Oh, I thought maybe you went back and did some work.
Oh, yeah, I did. I worked at a restaurant.
Restaurant, right.
It was kind of like I feel like it's a bit much calling it a restaurant. But, yeah.
It was always really thingy to me, because, like, I'd always get, especially like my sister and stuff, be like, but my friend used to work when she was in uni. That means you have to work. And I'm like, no, it was the people who worked at the same time as did our uni course very clearly didn't perform as well. And I don't know if it's because they worked on a lot more to think about in their time, but I like to think that's pretty true from the people I know anyway.
I think from my perspective, everyone at uni who worked just didn't seem to care much about uni.
Yeah, that definitely felt that way, didn't it?
Like, I don't think it was anything to do with the jobs. I think they were just not motivated to do uni work.
But I wonder if that did come to a little bit because they were working. It felt like they were just more tired and not wanting to do it.
I don't know. Like, I always think about the people actually like who did it. So who did it? Like Lee, Luke, Pars.
That's the three I think about. To be fair, Luke was very dedicated, actually. I forgot about Luke.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Lee and Pars, but Luke actually did a good amount of work, so he's an exception.
Luke did really good work. If it was something he wanted to do.
He made a really nice Walking Dead scene.
Yeah. Same.
But yeah, how's the work going? Oh, you gotta show you. We're just making a bucket at the moment. I shouldn't even be making it this detailed. It's a tiny bucket, but maybe I'll have a shot of some of the really nice assets in a location, because obviously if I want to sort of fancy
this looking
shot.
good. I haven't seen it with textures on yet.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has base color at the moment, not actual textures, but
oh right, just to give it that kind of look.
Yeah, like for example, we've got a very nicely textured bag and then brown.
Wow.
On a lot of other stuff. I actually changed the bed size because I scaled her up. I scaled her to everything. See the scaling, but yeah, it's coming along. It's it definitely looks like, just by putting color on everything, it definitely looks like a lot of stages have been done. Like just this room alone looks like it's getting to not a finished point, but a sub-finished point. Like it looks like something's definitely going on in here, and same with the other room. Did I tell you that Luke made this for me?
No.
He gave me basically the inner map, and then I made it look like it was sort of splattered on, and then I obviously made he basically gave me a texture of the map, and then I incorporated it to the mesh and whatnot, and got it textured up and stuff.
That's really cool. Is he doing well?
Hey, Highness Cuts. I don't know, because he takes a really long time to reply to me when he does, and when he does, he's like, "Oh, I've been working. Catch you some other time, man." And then again, won't respond for like a month, and then I'm like, "Hey, look, how's it going?" And takes a couple of weeks. But I've been working. I mean, I believe him. He probably has been working. It's just Luke's a very work-oriented man.
Yeah, he's not much of an online person anyway, is he?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, so it's very hard to get hold of Luke. No, oh wait. No, I mean the work for the company that hires you. Right, sorry. Yeah, it's going really good there. I've been making loads of cool stuff, to be honest. I work on 2 separate projects, one being sort of like the style I'm doing for my scene, and one being very realistic, and I'm just bouncing between both of them constantly. The bosses sometimes have trouble finding work for me because I just whip it out, just give it to them. They're like, "Oh, can you do this?" In a couple hours. My boss literally the other day was like, "Wait, you've done that already?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." To me, it was easy. He wanted something to... He had like a logo, and then he wanted that logo put on something. And the logo was sort of very odd shaped, but he wanted it to be 3D. But all I had to do was go into something like Blender, go around the asset, sort of with vertices, do a fill and make sure the fill was all right, and then just extrude it back, and we were done. And I hand that to him, and he was just like, "Oh my god, that was so fast." It was a simple process, but when you know the processes, I guess it does go faster. I think that's the biggest problem with the junior artist right now. She doesn't know speedy processes. She doesn't know the techniques and methodology to get things done fast. And I feel like that's really important. Like, I've said it a million times before, and people tend to disagree these days, but I don't think I'm a very good artist. But I know I know a lot of techniques to get things done, and it just gives the illusion I'm a good artist.
I mean, that's what it is, isn't it, really? It's all just essentially I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, I'm doing work at the same time.
You was gonna say that's a big part of being an artist in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about cutting corners and smoke and mirrors, right? That's what we were told in uni, and I think that probably holds up.
Well, one thing I actually said to Don recently, because Don was like, "What's the secret for learning Japanese?" But basically, I said, almost everything you do, and almost everything you see a lot of people very good at, there's usually not necessarily a secret, but some sort of technique behind getting that good. I was explaining with nunchucks and butterfly knives when I was explaining to chat. This butterfly knife is actually broken, so I can't really show too much of it, but it's like, knowing how the moves work makes it much easier to do the stuff. Like, that looks kind of fancy, but all I'm doing is I learn how to rotate my hand for each swing, and it's just learning how it's done. Nunchucks, knowing where to grab the nunchuck is super helpful to actually using them. Because if you grab it in the wrong place, it feels very unnatural to use them. Yeah. But I don't know if there's a secret to learning Japanese.
Why did he ask you instead of me?
Cue cards. Oh, he said it as a joke because, like, I was thinking about thingy. Cue cards.
Flashcards.
Flashcards, sorry. Flashcards. That's the secret.
Flashcards every day for the rest of your life.
Oh my god. Do you still do flashcards quite regularly?
I still do them every day.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That is so much. I mean, I say that so much dedication. I do 3D every day, so I guess it's the equivalent.
It's like, the way it works is that every time you get a flashcard right, it becomes less regularly. It comes up less regularly.
Right.
So, like, the ones from my initial flashcard deck, every time I finish them, I won't see them for almost a year and a half now.
Do you have a deadline for this project, Steve? Sorry, I didn't see that. No, this project's just my own personal project. So this is just for fun. I don't have a deadline I've set myself. I'm just messing around. Especially because I'm working full-time now, so I don't know if I'm going to want to do it some weeks, for example. Try my best to do it still every week for you guys, like 2 times a week.
But yeah, I wouldn't say there's a secret to learning languages. I mean, there's obviously, you want to immerse yourself in the language. But yeah, apart from that, I'd say just try and do some of it every day. I would say practice your listening early on, because my listening is so bad right now compared to my reading and writing. Like, my listening.
See, being someone who obviously if I, for example, would want to learn any language, to be fair, not Japanese, I think that's what I'd focus on anyway, because I don't obviously want to do anything with translation and stuff, where I think that's where it gets more important. At least I feel that
like
way.
If you just want to use it like conversationally, you don't need to necessarily learn how to read and write. Obviously, you should learn the basics anyway, because
If you want to find a toilet.
If you want to find a toilet. I remember going to Japan and getting so excited I could read the elevator sign. Or the escalator sign, even though I could see the escalator right there.
Elevator.
Escalator.
Wait, is that actually for the escalator?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Can you do the grass I requested 2 months ago? Oh, God, I completely... Yes, I will try my best. He asked a while ago, but I started working when he basically asked, so that was really awkward timing. and I was going to the doctors for my chest pain. I did not have a lot of free time. But yes, I will write that down. I have a list of little tutorials I want to do. So if you resend me, you sent me the video already, right, in a private chat. Also, if you want to send me that YouTube video, Salif, join the Discord and post it in the YouTube section, and I'll have a look at it there. Of your work. I don't appreciate, though, people coming into my chat and going into the public chat and posting their streams. Please do not do that.
What?
Yeah, so I did that the other day, and he wrote like hashtag shameless thingy. I deleted the post, gave him a warning. He's been in the chat for a while, but that's not okay, guys. I would feel awful if I went into someone else's Discord and posted my not just my work, my stream in their public chat. That's really weird. I didn't quite know how to feel about it when he did it. I was like, what?
I would maybe bring up the fact that I do stream in your chat, I guess, and say it would be cool if you checked me out at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh yeah.
I mean, I literally have a shout out channel where I put people's streams.
Yeah. I mean, if someone wrote in the chat, you talk to people who comment anyway, so.
I mean, I'm not saying don't advertise your work ever in my chat, but if you don't know where to post it, or you want my permission, like ask me, you know.
Talk to Steve. Don't just post it in the chat.
I think that's okay. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah. No worries. I'll be in Greece for 2 weeks. And then on vacation for another week. So plenty of time.
Nice.
Would have loved to try and watch the tutorial on my vacation though, since that's the last vacation I'll get for this year. Oof. Yeah, I'll try my best. Hopefully I don't get distracted with other work. So I'll try my best to see, because you sent me a video and you basically wanted me to show how to do what they did in the video, right? So, and I don't think it was very hard. It looked like the grass I sort of already do. So it should be fine. No, I never sent a link. Okay, I will try send it to Discord. Thank you. Yeah, you can't post links in Discord anyway, in YouTube anyway. For some reason, it gets a bit aggy.
I love the word aggy.
It's a great word. We're not actually gonna bump these in, I don't think. I will put some of these in a minute. Some of these across it. I think that's all I want on them. I'm not gonna do that quite yet though. We will smooth it though, just to get nicer quality on it.
I'm killing Moogles.
Oh no. What did they do to you?
They all have a different class. Like there's a warrior one, a white mage one, a black mage one. It's great.
And that gave them the death penalty.
Yeah.
They wanted to be
meant
different.
to be below us.
Yikes. What game? I think it was SWAT, where at the end you're essentially the bad guy, but you were just essentially following orders.
That's what all the bad guys do, though. Let's be real.
I guess you're not wrong. They follow their own orders. Again, this is stylized, so if you're actually doing a proper asset, you probably don't want to dent it as much as I'm going to. But I mean, I guess that's up to your own. What do you want to do with your asset anyway?
Yeah, you can't tell me what to do.
If you want a realistic asset that's overly dented, that's fine. Just make it out to why it might be like that. It's small things like that. Someone actually talked to me about it the other day. It's like my old scene where I had like muddy footprints leading into the building and stuff like that. Like, they're all very small details, but they do really help add to the story of the scene. Even if you don't have a story for the scene, like an actual laid out story, like, oh, this is a farm that's been abandoned by this guy, but whatever, and that's why there's that's why there's old dried up muddy footprints from like a week ago. You know, you don't need to say, oh, and he was this kind of guy and he was this. It's like, don't need a full story. You just need for per asset story, because it really helps bring your scene to life, in my opinion. It's actually one of the reasons my current boss hired me, because he said I seem to give a lot of life to my individual assets.
Nice.
I will never sit here though and tell you what you need to do to get a job, because you know I didn't know why I really got the job. You know, he saw my stream and went, "I like you," and hired me. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm better than anybody because I was lucky enough to get a job.
You are better than them, Steve.
I mean, I might be better than some beginners and some people who are still practicing. But, you know, I've experienced a lot of people who... but you should do exactly this, exactly what I did. I'm like, that doesn't work for everybody. And just because it worked for you doesn't mean it's the correct way either. It's going back to actually talking about video games, saying, you know, just because you 1v3'd a team in a bad situation doesn't mean the situation you put yourself in was a good choice.
Exactly. Results-based analysis bad, is what you're saying, Steve.
Yes. Be humble, guys. That's what I'm saying. Be good like me. Be humble. I remember that used to be what used to annoy Alan a lot, was people saying stuff like that. Because it'll be like, sometimes you'll get someone who, you know, you look at their work and you think, oh, they're nothing special. And then you look at their like job role and it's like, senior artist at this place. And you're like, wait, really? And then they sit there on like YouTube videos going, I know because I'm a senior artist, and they do something garbage. I remember watching someone make a Pokemon ball who was a senior artist, and oh my god, I've never seen someone model something in such a convoluted
manner.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. A unique manner, and it had a lot of dislikes, and other people were like, were saying like, this is a terrible way to do it. This is so long-winded. You could have just done this. And I'm pretty sure he replied back with, well, I'm the senior artist at Ubisoft. I think I know better. I was like, Hey man, maybe he does. Maybe that's actually the way you're supposed to do it. You do it any other way and people are just like, it's garbage.
I've killed all the Moogles.
Hot damn.
Time to celebrate.
Celebrate good time. Come on.
I gotta write them.
You know what I miss?
This job I'm applying for is all in Japanese. Like, obviously, the job is in Japanese anyway. That's fine. It's more that all the communication with the person is in Japanese.
Right.
Which is less enjoyable. And not great at formal Japanese.
Are you able to get away with more bad translated stuff if they don't understand, though? God. I've seen some YouTube channels where they show poorly translated like products. It's quite funny, some of the ones that they show.
I love I think they call it Japan English or something. No, what was it?
English?
I can't remember. That was a funny name. English is normally for Chinese. This is for Japanese and English.
Right.
But yeah, always cracks me up. There's some strange ones that you gotta wonder what happened.
What happened in translation to get to that point?
What does that say? I have no idea what that catch is. It looks like it belongs in the word for graduate, but I'm assuming he's not congratulating me on my graduation.
Why not?
No, it's the same kanji. Just Nani Tozo. Well, I've never seen that before. Maybe I shouldn't be applying for this job, but I'm gonna do it.
Felt like I did that a lot in freelance. Like when they wanted the texture artist, and I was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's my main thing. That was still odd though, having like one texture artist. Like everyone else was sort of 3D modelers, and they were like had a dedicated texture artist because no one else could 3D model. Not 3D modeler, sorry, no one else could texture. That was very odd.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Well, at least for us, because we were told, you know, you do the whole process. If you make a model, you do the whole thing. You might not thingy for it, doing a concept art for it, but bar that.
What are they saying? Oh yes, I get to work in whatever software I want. Notepad it is, because I can't afford nice software.
It's always a sad thing about trying to do freelance, to be honest. Like, the more you earn, the more you kind of want to put into software to try to earn more money, because the better software you have, the better your stuff's going to look to then try to get better jobs.
Yeah, there is some freelance, some freeware for translation, which I've got to try out at some point. They kind of like almost slightly automate it, and they check that your translations are like correct throughout, consistent. That's the word I'm looking for. So they said I can use any software I want, and they thought I asked for a sample of what I'd be translating just to check that I could properly do it, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, I thought I'd attach that."
Oh, okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I find it funny that you always expect companies to be super organized and everything, but that couldn't not necessarily be far from the truth, but it's not necessarily true for every company or even situation. Do you know how companies, especially freaking schools, colleges, and universities, are so unorganized? It's crazy. And somehow they still get through and get it to look like they're being very organized in the long run. But yeah, it's like when I was trying to do stuff, like trying to get to teaching, they just were not organized at all. It was crazy. I didn't expect to have that as the result of trying to get into teaching. I mean, our university wasn't exactly organized either. But was it their fault they had a lead quit? Or did they fire him? I can't remember. They had all the software change. It's probably still their fault, but...
They could have done better.
Yeah, definitely. But everyone seems to have the similar experience. Every time I speak to someone about uni, they're like, yeah, I didn't learn anything from uni. It was all my own stuff and all of this. I'm like, really? Like, it's because was basically our sort of thingy. We learned, you know, enough from uni, I'd say. But there was definitely a lot of stuff missing that we could have learned.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Well, show right.
I'm just naming the file, guys. It's on the other monitor. Cool, export that one. I can export slightly higher poly because of where it bends out. I don't know if we necessarily need it, but going from that to that's pretty significant, which means going to here, you won't get the normal spec very well. Oh, going to here. There you go. Once finished, are you going to make normal maps for your objects, or do you keep objects with a high poly level? No. I'll make normal maps. Everything has normal maps. Like, oh, I almost just closed the project. No. Well, I don't keep it that high poly. Like this, for example, is, you know.
That's the most detailed looking mug compared to everything else near it.
Yeah, freaking table and stuff. I mean, you got some of these over here, I guess. But I guess this is okay. But yeah,
the lamp looks really nice. I saw you doing the lamp.
This lamp was for my old, see, but I didn't really want to redo one because I thought it looked nice.
Seems to fit the art style, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. So it didn't seem like a point to that. But yeah, if you look into here, You go to the normal map. The high poly isn't necessarily to get a good normal map, though. The high poly is to bake down curvature and ambient occlusion. I'll show you in a second why I make it. I just need to export it, which is going to take some time. 17 million. I think that's still fine. I could actually... let's save what I got. Okay, 17 million is quite a lot. Bucket, ZBrush, bucket, yes. Cool. So now that it was saved, okay, Z plugin, decimate master, and decimate it 20%, that should be fine. You need to pre-process first, and then you need to decimate, and then I can export whatever's decimated, but it will remove all the lower polys and stuff. So basically, I don't want to save, or if I do want to save, I'll save it as a separate document. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll show you when I get done. Hopefully we'll get enough time, because I'll go up to 2 hours today. Oh, I was supposed to do my sponge as well. Sponge are going to texture by hand, I think, anyway, so... I feel like doing a high poly for a sponge is a little troll.
Sponge, not a little troll.
Spongy onegy. So, I told you what I had done. As I told you, we are not on the same software. I am lightweight, but maybe my making awful shade, yeah. Oh, so I've got one of these videos with a very sort of similar scene, actually. That's quite funny. We knew someone that used Lightwave. That was like Nathan and Sophie, right?
Sophie did it a lot, yeah.
Well, your scene looks better than mine.
Oh, really? Is it nice?
It's very nice. Oh, nice keyboard. City end result.
That is a very nice keyboard.
Yeah, your scene looks very nice. Well, I don't think my scene looks awful, but your scene looks very nice.
Let's have a look at it. Little. Oh, it's really nice, like arc viz kind of stuff.
I remember when I did mine, I did a lot of stuff by hand where I should have probably just got textures online, which is probably my biggest downfall. But I had I'd say my modeling was still good. I think this is before I learned how to texture as well. I know that had a lot of tile textures on it too. This scene. This was done in a couple of time lapses. Is ZBrush done? No, not yet. Yeah, I basically made like a big portion of the scene. This was quite a fun scene. I like art-based stuff, but I never got myself to a professional standard on it, I'd say, because I've just moved on to doing other stuff.
You can always go back. There's no reason you can't, right?
Yeah, it's not a scene that's too hard to get together either. I think art phase is definitely, maybe not one of the easiest things to make, but it's definitely not as hardcore as certain things. Because it's a lot of basic shapes with very clean.
Yeah, the
textures.
skill set is the same, is shared with a lot of 3D, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because I feel like a big part of ArcViz is getting the getting those basic shapes in and learning how to use tiling textures. Because you don't use a lot of manual texture stuff usually. I'll probably watch the Fall of your video off stream, to be fair. Oh yeah, I made a little Sega system. Yeah, that scene was definitely didn't look as good as yours, but I should have set it up better with lighting as well, from what I remember. That was the scene I worked on with Dom.
Indeed, I remember.
That was fun. That was what Dom was like, yeah, I'm gonna stream as well.
Did he actually stream during it?
I think he streamed once. Too hard.
Too hard.
Well, he was posting and stuff saying, yeah, Steve's doing this. I'm gonna start doing a Twitch channel and everything as well, and then it never really happened. That would be cool, having someone to stream side by side with.
Should I stream? I can stream my private conversations with clients.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be completely fine with that.
They're Japanese, they'll never know. They'll never find me online.
I thought they said it took 46 seconds. I was like, no way, that took way over. Yeah, it took 4 minutes 46. So you plug in, you can go this now. Current. Pretty sure. Go on.
Carry on.
I'm pretty sure the decimate's faster than the processing. Yeah, are we done already? Yeah, we're done.
One thing I love about writing in Japanese is pretty much you write in the alphabet and then you press space to bring up like the kanji options for what you've written, because there can be different kanji for the same word and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if it's a word you've used recently, you can or a phrase that begins the exact same way, it'll quite often save it, so you can just skip down to that and like re-input the entire phrase.
Oh, okay.
In one go. So like I wanted to write Yoroshiku and the guy Itachi Master. I just put in Yoro and it already had it as the second option.
Oh, okay. I just remembered I have to re-UV map this. You should usually UV map afterwards. I keep doing it before recently. If it's because I've been making a lot of assets that I've not been doing high polys for, so I'm just instinctively
being sloppy.
I'm doing extra work.
Sloppy.
Put that in. So because it should have a basic UV map though. That's not on this freaking set for some reason. Oh no, it is. It just didn't come up. That was weird. I'm gonna call it UV. Oh, we got.
When did this guy reply to me?
When was that?
Yeah, this Japanese guy. Maybe he doesn't live in Japan or something. He replied to me at 11:30 at night, Japanese time.
Maybe he just has all that free time at night.
I mean, Japanese people apparently stay up super late. A lot of them. Like, a lot of the younger ones. Yeah, like they don't sleep till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Sometimes I'm like,
oh my god, it's my people.
But then they get up at like 6.
That's not my people.
Yeah. They wake up at time. How are you dealing with that at your job now?
Very tired, but I'm able to catch up on the weekend usually. People, it's always singing because people are always like, it's your fault. If you had a normal wake up schedule, you'd be fine, Steve, with a normal wake up schedule. I can't fall asleep.
Disgusting.
Oh, it's horrible. Sometimes I'm fine and I will fall asleep at a decent time, and sometimes, to be fair, I get up at like 10 minutes before I start, so I need to get up at like 8:50, so it's not super early anyway. I get up, grab a hot drink, sit at my desk, start working.
What hot drink?
Usually a coffee.
You're a caffeine abuser, a druggie.
Well, I was like, usually a green tea.
No, God. I don't drink anything hot, really.
All right, so Salad.
I
was going to say something, Salad. Salad, what I'm doing here now is I don't know. It's the high poly not explode yet. Oh, it's exploding. I'll show you in a minute when it's exploded. Okay, go on, Jake.
No, you carry on. I wasn't saying anything important.
I can't carry it. It's still writing data.
Oh, no, I was just saying that at work sometimes I drink espressos. They always offer to let us drink drinks like that being really nice or something. I'm like, I don't really want to drink anything. I don't.
You're late today, Wolf. I think you can use UDIMs in Unreal, but I don't know how really. I'm not really familiar with UDIMs at all. But I think you can.
What is a UDIM? the uninitiated.
What does it mean?
Yeah, like I've not heard of Udym before.
I'm actually going to get a definition because I don't know by definition what it is. It's used for U-dimension. Udym is a way of creating a single linear number that identifies each interior block in the UV space. Yeah. So, I guess the best option in Unreal would actually not be using UDIMs. It would be separating your mesh into... I do this a lot. Separating your mesh into separate sets. So, all of the... essentially UDIMs, but all the textures or the UVs would overlay each other, but on separate UV sets. And then in Unreal, you just tell it to use different sets. I guess that would work. Nice bucket. Thank you. That reminds me of that meme. This is my bucket. They're checking my bucket.
I have no idea.
Not seen that one? That's the freaking seal one. There you go. Oh. I wanted to full screen it. Oh my god. This...
Wow, this is a great picture.
That is an old meme.
Oh, beautiful meme. They were still the good old days.
This is my bucket. I wonder if I could have just written my bucket and it would come up. Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. I love seals, man. I never see wait, are these seals or are these... What's a walrus? Oh, I guess it's a walrus, isn't it? Not a seal.
He's way too big for a
Yeah,
seal.
yeah. Seals are tiny, aren't they? Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
adult seals aren't that small, but they ain't walrus sized.
Oh my god. Big boy. Have you seen the one where he gets scared when they honk at him?
What?
Yeah, just... Yo, jump. Is this it?
Hey.
That one's also funny.
He's just chilling. Oh.
You can start. That's not the one I was referring to, but that's quite funny too. I remember seeing that one.
Oh.
Seal honked. Oh, I actually thought that might work. He's basically doing sort of the same thing, and they go, and he just literally hops off the platform. No, off the platform. Sorry, he hops and then looks back at them like, oh. It's quite funny. Probably pretty mean, but it's quite funny. They probably did it to make him aware they were coming, though, so they didn't like accidentally hit him because he was on a little bit of ice. I always see those things, man. They're like cruelty, 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 and then there'll be like a really good reason that they did something. And I'm like, you guys do zero research before trying to like get angry at people.
I mean, it's popular to be angry these days, isn't it?
That's very true, yeah.
Just like you.
Yeah, I'm
Always
angry
angry at the
all
world.
the time. The world sucks.
God, loading sucks.
I wonder why this is taking so long.
You want to know why it's taking so long, Steve?
Because it's 3 million polygons. That shouldn't actually be taking that long. 3 million's not very high.
The good old days where 100,000 poly mesh crashed uni computers, pretty much.
Dude, the amount of times our teacher would get backwards and forward on that. No, it's fine. You can have as many as you want. And then the next day, be like, you have to make it 2 polygons. Like, hold on a minute. So which is it? Getting issues here.
La-dee-dee, la-dee-doo, la-dee-dum. Not eating nuts recently.
Yeah, same actually. Last year when I lived with Jack, I started eating nuts.
This is like a healthy snack. I don't eat crisps anymore.
Oh, I didn't
Or
even know
I'm
you used
trying
to.
to eat less crisps. I
Didn't
used
even...
to eat quite a lot of crisps.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I ate quite a lot.
Wait, did I re? Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure I re-imported it. Have you tested out the UE5? Yes. Yeah, yeah. If you actually go back a couple of videos about months, 2 months ago, you'll see that I did a video, a stream on it, should I say. It was really fun.
What did you think of it?
Really cool. Lumen and all that is just something else.
Is it all good stuff then? Nothing that seems kind of annoying.
I don't like the file logos they decided to use.
Oh really? Are they just...
It looks like we've gone back a generation on like how we want things to look. I'm like, oh, it doesn't look that good to me. I'm definitely getting closer to the bake we're looking for. Anyways, so to Salif, so what I use the high poly for, right? So we've got all this detail now. Now I don't necessarily need the I don't need the normals, but what I use this for is I will now get one of my smart materials that I made a very long time ago. Wood of stylized, so we can actually do it. Wood. Got one of our wooder ones.
Can you do the tutorial inside of UE5 for the graphs? That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, UE5's not much different, so it wouldn't be actually that hard.
Oh, is it not?
No, they kept it really similar, which is super nice.
That's good. That's good. I mean, they found a really good design for it, right? With UE4.
Yeah,
Seemed
yeah.
to hit a sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm glad because that was one of the things I was most excited about is I didn't have to learn something completely new again. That's probably the worst, man. Like
anyone who uses UE4, they praise the the UI, right?
Yeah,
it looks good and it's simple and quite easy to understand.
It's like the argument is still that UE4 provides a much more user-friendly to artists design. Like an artist can go into UE4 and probably, by just using some basic blueprints and setups, he could probably make a basic game himself. Whereas that just doesn't feel possible in Unity unless you learn some programming. I don't know how good Unity is these days, but that is how it used to be anyway.
Yeah. I definitely had the same experience with it. I did make some stuff in it, but I had to look up loads online.
So yeah, so Salif, what I do now is I basically get it to pick up all of the ambient occlusion and stuff, and I just take that information and make my textures, I guess, so I don't have to actually hand paint them, if you know what I mean. Which is the biggest benefits doing it this way. I've got a new wood. I want to see what it is. Nope. What did I do? What's that? Thank you. Oh, right, because I'm in left. Let's go at this, go at this, go at this. Right, ambient occlusion.
I need to keep checking my messages with that Japanese person now. Normally, if there's a Japanese client, I can just message them and then leave it till the next day because they'll be asleep.
Oh, right.
Now I'm like, what if they're awake at 3 in the morning?
Oh, hello there.
Hello there.
It's not getting the ambient occlusion I'm looking for, fortunately. I don't know if there's any way I can really fix that. Turn you down, you down. It's a bit better.
Ugh. Interesting how it
got a little glitch there. That's to do with the baking. I can fix that later.
It all comes out on separate maps, doesn't it? The ambient and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can always edit them manually, can't you, if you need to?
Yeah, I mean, I could literally go into here now and just go paint and manually get in some of those areas a bit darker.
Yeah, because you obviously can as well, can't you?
So obviously, I'll probably do a little bit of that, but I try my best to get it to do as much as it can for me.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes it uniform, makes it nice, saves you work. Mate, I'm playing through Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO, again, and I'm playing it all in Japanese.
Yeah.
Just as like a kind of learn some new vocabulary, puts a fresh take on the game, you know. It's just quite fun. And Sid talks like such a man.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that before.
It's great. He's just like, no politeness here. He's a man.
It's like so different to like what he sounds like usually.
Yeah, like in the actual one, like he's always a friendly guy and stuff. Like he's not formal or anything, but what does the guy work as? I work as a part-time translator for
Freelance translator.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just any freelance clients I can find, pretty much.
Who do anything, guys?
I'll go full time. What? Yeah, I can do anything. Hopes. Anything for the money. I'm desperate. Please.
Like, you give me the pep talk I used to always get for my 3D. Just give up.
I gave you better pep talks than that.
You gave me good pep talks. You always told me to keep going.
I don't think I ever really gave you pep talks, but I'd like to say I supported you.
Yeah, I mean, I showed you something, keep like, oh, that's really good. Hopefully, you know, soon people will see that and it can get you work. Whereas I had other friends who'd just be like, so if you've not found work yet, you should probably just give up. I'm like, thanks. Give up on what I've been studying for years, what I've been practicing for years. Yeah, I'd just do that. Yeah, just get a job at McDonald's, mate. Like, get money. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like, I get it. You can make a lot of money doing those kinds of jobs. But if that's not what you want to do, then I don't know. I think a lot of people put money above, like, enjoying the job, which is totally fine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but all to their own at the end of the day. If that's what you want, that's fine. But
I would only do that for some top dollar, in which McDonald's is not top dollar, I'm afraid.
Well, I think the problem I used to always come across is but I don't really want that kind of job. And they'd assume that was me insulting them. I'm like, no, I'm not saying you're like, what you're doing is horrible. I think I'm just saying that's the job I want, you know? There's nothing wrong with me saying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's your life. Make the most of it yourself.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think the funny thing about that argument is that, like, you know, I studied GS to be something that isn't that. That's kind of why I don't want to be that. I'm not insulting you for being that. I just clearly I'm trying to be something not that. You know, that's weird. People get, like you said earlier, people like to be insulted and get angry.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, I didn't see it. Sorry, I was just trying to make custom UCX, make a collision object, and remove the mesh, whatever the mesh you want to make a collision you want for, like this. You know what I've been doing for actually collisions? I remember doing that. In UE4, you can create you can just create box collisions and move them in your mesh. So for certain objects, I've just been creating box collisions, stretching it out, copy, paste, and then stretch it out to make the other shape. It works really well. It's the same as doing it like Maya and then exporting it, but it's just in UE4. It's quite useful.
It's untouched, intact. Unused.
Oh, this person said he could speak Japanese and hold a conversation, but he can't read or write.
Oh. Impressive stuff. I am much better at the reading and writing than I am the speaking. Like, I can speak Japanese, but I wouldn't feel... Like, I'll always get my meaning across, and it won't sound terrible, but, you know, it's... I butcher some stuff occasionally. My grammar ain't correct.
How much do you think your accent comes across?
My accent? I don't think that's actually much of an issue with Japanese because there's almost no intonation involved compared to other languages. Like, I feel like accent probably isn't much of a thing because it's all flat sounds. Don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, definitely think it's less of a thing. Rather than accents in Japan, they have dialects, so they just say different words for things. You know how like some people call a bacon sandwich a bacon cob or a bacon roll or.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We had a conversation
Yeah.
about that in my chat, in my work chat, man. Someone was saying we call it a bacon muffin, and we were all like, even people who lived where she lived were like, why do you call it a bacon muffin when a muffin is something?
I've heard that. It's weird, isn't it?
But we have something called a muffin.
Yeah, like it's a bit odd.
That's the weird part about it, is we literally have something called a muffin. So why would you need to call that a muffin?
But yeah, they have words like that, which come into things, I guess. Apparently, they're becoming less popular though over time. Apparently, everyone's learning a bit more of like neutral Japanese now, Tokyo Japanese, if you like.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes things easier for me, but it's a shame because I like some of the funny words they come out with.
I like the funny words. What if I got hired to do 3D for a Japanese company, and they moved me out there?
Oh.
And then I won't know at all what to say or what I'm doing.
You'd have to go for it though, right?
Oh, that was, dude. I mean, if I was offered a job in any sort of country, except maybe some local European ones, I'd probably say yes, like Canada, America. Any English one, I'd probably definitely yes to, just because I can at least speak the language, like so Australia as well. But then yeah, like Japan, China, and almost North Korea, South Korea, you know. And then what? I'll probably even go to places like India. Like, even if I just went there for the year, it'd just be an experience.
That's pretty much it. It's cool, right?
It's cool. It's cool, guy.
Oh. I love those videos.
No, it's looking like a bucket now. I want to make these brass, I think, at the top. We'll do that in a second. One thing I've added to the style recently is making a positional mask and make it so as the object gets closer to the top, it gets brighter. And as it gets lower to the bottom, it gets darker.
Okay.
And I personally, like, after doing it for a bit, I think it gives it a whole different feel to the asset, just doing that. Like, are you looking right now?
Yeah, I'm looking.
I'll disable and swap them out. It makes the cup I had, the tanker I had, look way different. But, see up to here. Set it to a multiply. Lower it down. Bit higher than that. So now if I were to, like, this one, yeah. So if I got rid of these three, but it's just that you can see it looks way more flat.
Yeah, I can see that.
And similarly with,
just like it gives the lighting effect without having lighting involved. Right?
yeah, pretty much. It's just a really nice effect that I've started sort of doing. Actually, I saw someone talk about it, I think, on World of Warcraft assets. And I was like, that's a really good idea. So that's sort of why I started doing it. I think it was World of Warcraft. It was either World of Warcraft or Sea of Thieves.
Probably World of Warcraft. That sounds exactly like what they do.
Yeah, and additionally, they tend to share. The artists who work on those games tend to share quite a lot as well. Like somebody, oh, don't know that. Somebody, what should we call it? Brushes. Some of the brushes I use in ZBrush are brushes they use in, or at least one of the artists anyway, used in when he was making World of Warcraft stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, oh yeah, do I want to make these brass as well? Oh, what do you think to them being brass? Nah, makes it look too fancy. I think it's a bucket at the end of the day.
There's a question in your chat, Steve, but your chat are also solving it.
Oh, nice. That's what I want the chat to do. That's great. So I could be lazy now.
Yeah, you hear that, chat? Steve doesn't want to communicate with you.
Can someone tell me what to do with translucent foliage in Unreal so everything doesn't look completely white once I turn it on? I just can't figure this out. Oh, that's because of the subsurface scattering. Every material, click the material and look for selection, and the selection should have translucent transparency, and please press it and press. Yeah, I assume you've clicked translucent foliage on. Wait, where's my Unreal? You've done this from what I can tell. So when you want to make something translucent, you come down to here and use translucent, but it sounds like you've done. Oh, does it not come up as translucent? Maybe you haven't. Two-sided foliage, which will enable, if that is what you've done, that will enable subsurface scattering, which will make it look white until you set up a subsurface color for it. But if you have just done translucency here, that shouldn't be making it go white. So I'm curious if you have done that. Otherwise, I'll have to look into more detail to why it's doing that. Okay. Save this. 2 hours to do a bucket. But to be fair, that's not actually that bad. That's almost start to finish. I didn't model it from its basic point, but, you know, high poly, texture, and getting an engine in a 2-hour period. It's pretty good.
Could have spent the whole week on it.
Dude, I couldn't imagine if you're like an artist who does like 2 months to do a basic asset. If you got a job and then took that long, I'm so curious to what they'd say to you.
Yeah, does make it. I like the background. It's a nice background.
Oh, what a cat.
Yeah. You know me, I love the cat.
There's a cat at the corner shop. We don't see it too often, but it's super floofy, and we just like pet it for a bit when we go over if we see it. It's a super nice little cat, super friendly. In fact, it acts more like a dog. It just wants pets and stuff, man. Like, I know cats do that too, but it's not usually as common.
Yeah, I assume it hangs around the shop because it does get pets.
Yeah, it's just a friendly boy. Oh my god, it's applied the skin texture to the bucket. Oh my god, the bucket's almost the right scale. How far off was I? Okay, no, it's not almost the right scale. It needs to be 3 times. No, just under 2 times. 2.8. 2.7. That's what I say about getting perfect scale things. I'd rather just scale it up in engine and then not have to worry about being sort of perfect for every single model I make. It gives me more freedom when I make something. Because now I just have to set up the build size like I did, and boom, we've got the perfect size. Let's set up the texture so it doesn't have freaking skin on it. Freaking gross. M underscore.
Is that the character's skin?
Yeah, character's up here. I don't know if you saw her.
No, I haven't had a close look yet.
She's still got messed up rig, so it's pulling some of her hair. But yeah, I just wanted to get her in there to get a feel for this little bit here. So she's not done yet, cool. but she hasn't got like proper eyelids yet, so she just got like
God, her ankles must be hurting.
Yeah, I rebent.
Oh my god, the eyes.
Yeah, I rebent her legs to be proper, and then for some reason, what happened? I was on the last stream. It didn't save or something, and I was like, I can't bother redoing it. Oh no, it had the first frame keyed.
Oh, I hate it.
And then I swapped frame and swapped back, and I was like, oh no, and I clicked undo, and it wouldn't give it back because it was just like, nope, this is your keyframe. This is what it was. I was like, no. So I lost all the it was about half an hour of progress setting her up correctly. I was really annoyed. And it was really annoying. Oh, I haven't exported the textures. That'd be helpful.
Oh,
So,
Steve, you got asked if you want to do a voice role in someone's
would
game.
you want to be a voice on the radio in
That'd
me
be
and my
pretty cool.
friend's Portal fan game? If so, I will send you a message from Twitter or Discord. Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm just like,
Oh my god, what the hell?
well, it's like on the radio, he said. So he doesn't actually use my voice. You just hear me like, like
Jesus.
that'd be so funny. I assume you'd want my normal speaking voice for a role like that. I would love to be an evil dude in a game. Like, put my voice down 1 octave and then just talk like I'm really pompous. I think that'd be great.
Just talk like normal Steve.
I knew you was going to say that.
Yeah, I can't miss a low-hanging insult.
A low hail.
It's low-hanging fruit, isn't it?
Name our files. Don't be like me, guys. Well, I guess be like me now. Name all your files. Because you will appreciate it later on. No, can I name the file? There you go. You'll appreciate it later on when you don't have to go through all your files and name them. Then again, I guess if you're not selling it like I sell a lot of my assets, don't need it if you're just doing it for fun. I mean, I'm doing it for fun too. But...
It's a good habit to get into, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, if you get a job doing it,
God,
you might be required to do it.
My
Didn't you
company
have a terrible one with the previous one?
Well, naming conventions.
Yeah, wasn't it super long or something?
Oh yeah, they had a long naming convention. I got it sorted in the end, but I still don't know how to make voice lines, but you can do anything with your voice. You have full control. You do anything and have fun with. Have fun if you want to be an enemy. I can ask my friend about that. If you could do it all you want, I don't have to ask. Yeah, only afterwards. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, sounds fun to me. As long as it's not going to take up too much of my time, because I have limited time these days.
There's a Portal fan game. Is it like the same kind of gameplay as Portal? I'm guessing. Because I love that game. That game.
God, if you were able to replicate that somehow, I'd be really impressed. Because that's some really tough programming.
I assume it would be a lot simpler. I assume.
I say tough programming. You'd think it wouldn't be too bad considering the game's how old now?
Yeah, like.
But it is. It's such a hard thing to program.
Do you think so? Like, I feel like it might be difficult to create, but once you've created it, there's almost nothing else to do.
I guess so. 14 years ago. Wow, I thought it was older than that for some reason.
14 years. Wow.
Well, when was Portal 2 released? 10 years ago. I thought that was a little bit older as well. Not as old as I thought. Like, you're just sitting there like, man, I'm old. I'm like, that's not as old as I thought.
The positive view and the negative view.
I'm old.
I'm so old.
She's got a bucket up here. Here you go. She's got nothing on here. She's gonna have a bucket. Bucket really fits. So sometimes I edit it a little bit afterwards, but no, that perfectly fits the art style we're going for. I feel like these are a little too light now. Though, look at them. I think that's a little bit dimmer. Yep, it's just with a proto-gen, and I'm using UE4, and I finally know how to do a save, and wow, I over-exaggerated. It wasn't actually hard at all. I was just lazy. Yeah, I always thought saving would be really, really hard, but apparently it's actually not that bad.
Really?
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of programmers about it, and they're always like, yeah, it's actually really easy to set up. I'm like, is it? Because, like, in my head, I'm like, you're freezing everything you're doing, and then somehow saving that, and then when you click load, you're going back to that state, that solid state. Like, how do you do that? And when they explain it, like, yeah, it's really easy. I'm like, Well, I say how they explain it. They don't usually explain it. They just tell me it's easy. Oh, that reminded me. I didn't do the cuts that was doing it. Oh, well. I don't need the extra detail. That looks absolutely fine. I don't need any of it. It's a bucket. I shouldn't have put that much detail in it to begin with. It looks nice, though. What do you think?
I think it looks like a bucket.
Yeah. One thing I actually want to change is the handle is basically all light because of the way the curvature works. Not that one. That one. So if I duplicate that, pop it in a folder, select you, make another folder. White mask. And then deselect you. Is that right? Yeah. It's not deselecting it though. There you go. And I come into here, I can do a different curvature for this whole rounded bit. That way it's not as... Because that's supposed to be sort of scratch, not sort of edge scratch on it. So when the whole thing's an edge scratch, it's not really an edge scratch anymore because the whole of it's like that.
Yeah.
So we want it to be a little less in that part. Oh, I actually want to do one more thing because here there's a slight glitch. To fix that, all I need to do theoretically is lower that a tad. I don't know how much though. That fixed it a little bit more. I can see the lines just still appearing. The game will have multiplayer possibly. That's cool. This is a full-time development game. It will be happening and be releasing possibly a demo in October. Ooh. God, could you imagine one? He released it, it gets a lot of attention. So one game, like the game I'm working for a company right now, it's like, oh, Steve, the 3D environment artist. And on this game, it's like, oh, Steve, the voice actor. Oh, yes.
It's the start of your voice acting career.
Oof, mate. Voice acting sounds so fun as a career.
I feel like it'd be really fun and, like, really just not that much stress. Like, you'd have a couple of long days, but you wouldn't have many days of work, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends on what you're voice acting, right?
Yeah, true.
I know that some that I've seen talk about say it can be stressful, but in general they say it's like their dream job. So that's the thing, isn't it? If it's your dream job, you don't mind it being a little bit more stressful.
Yeah, you're always willing to do a bit more if it's for the dream.
What a dream.
Oh, mate, you're actually making a song for it. I loved the credit songs in Portal 1 and Portal 2. They had them on Guitar Hero 3. I used to enjoy playing them.
This was a triumph.
It was very strange.
It was very strange, but it was quite enjoyable. It was like, you just didn't expect it. And the fact that it was catchy as well, despite being like a voice-generated one. Or at least it sounded that way.
It wasn't just badly made or anything. It was actually catchy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, I think... I don't know why I put buckets everywhere. I guess because it's another asset, so I'm just like, we need to find more room. There should be... We've got one outside already, right? Yeah, here. Let's get one under here. Modularity is important, guys. If you make one asset, try to place it as many places as you can, because if you do that with every asset, then by the time you've done like your 50th asset and you've placed all of them 5 times, it's like having 250 assets.
Could you put a bucket hanging off the flag?
Hanging off the flag, like this flag?
Or like the flagpole? Rudy,
what do you mean this one?
Oh. Just put it all the way along the sails. Just millions of buckets hanging.
Sadly, I've not got it so the bit actually hangs up.
Oh, wow.
I could export a separate one of it doing that. Which might be a good idea, because that make it more reusable, actually.
Yeah, you could have it like hanging off a hook on the wall or something. Fill some vertical space.
Let's do a duplicate. Hide that. Have the new duplicate. I should probably reduce the poly count, but oh well.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you for the offer, Mr. Asian Wolf, but I am fine, thank you. I don't pop in here too often anyway. I'm normally off busy doing my own work and bits and bobs.
Yeah, I'm the only one who doesn't have a life.
Yeah, he's a loser. But I still look forward to hearing how it goes. I'm sure Steve will remind me, and I'll still pop into these occasionally. Been a while since I last did one of these with you.
Mm.
You never invite me anymore.
You're always invited, Jake. Bucket, hang or hanging.
Hang me.
Oh god.
Noose bucket.
Wait, I could have filed buckets at a model. The model's going there. Hanging. Boom. Oh, it's got the skin on it again. Puts the lotion on the bucket.
Oh yeah, baby.
What did I scale up by? Can't remember now. 2.6, yeah.
A number.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is. I'm good with numbers.
My job right now, I'm not gonna lie, is mainly like, how can I find more uses for these things? Pretty fun. Like, for example, so I'm actually going to do a tutorial on this. So you see these holders for the barrels.
I will in a second. Oh yeah, I see.
So this is made up of loads of small pieces from actually my old scene. The pillars.
The defenses.
It's just like the singular pillars.
Okay,
I've got different variants that I was using, but I wanted it so it gets darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. And because it's just made up of separate pieces, that doesn't quite work. So if I did it, then you'd have it here going from light to dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I did was I used a node called a local space. And what it does is it finds the object's local space, and then it makes
Does
it
based on its 3D
on
information.
its on the positioning. So I made it so it gets darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, and boom. So I didn't have to export it out and actually retexture it. I just had it in here. As you can see, it doesn't change according to where it is in the world or anything. Yeah, I was like, that works really well. I actually didn't have really any high hopes for it, but it works really well. And I was like, oh, nice. This still, I think I want to redo. This didn't turn out well. It looks very cartoony, which is probably the issue. Like, it is cartoony, but not very cartoony usually. Bucket. I want to hang that bucket off one of the thingies. Did you see this as well? I made a while ago. It's not textured.
Ah, little chimes hanging down. Boaty chimes. I like it. It's cute.
Can't wait to leave my room and read. Oh my god, I'm hot. I had a feeling it was going to do that because of the texture position. Maybe it won't look right. Or maybe you won't even care. Oh my god, no, it gets very dark there. Because like, it was obvious. Oh yeah, look. I could do a separate texture for it and re-import it, but I won't do that right now. Bucket. I wanted just to make it look like it was really dangerous for her to actually get up to her crow's nest. So she's got to like climb up here, stand on here, and then jump up to here, and then climb up to here, and then boom, she's on the crow's nest. I didn't want it to look like it was built up with the idea that that was going to be that to begin with. Because I was also thinking maybe doing a ladder that comes up to here. And then there's like some little steps to come up the roof. Or a ladder, I guess, that can also go here. That could be a good idea too. Fills this space and it gets stuff sort of... So I want it to be more filled than it is. Like, I want it to look like she's not got enough place to store things, where right now it's got quite a lot of empty space.
Yeah, you want it to feel like a boat, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, it's getting there with certain areas. Like, this is getting somewhat cluttered. Oh, yeah, I forgot I made all this. Little hat. My boss actually saw me make this. One of the things he saw me make this is where he wanted to decide to hire me. Because he watched my stream when he wanted to hire me.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You're just a talented man.
Oh, that angle here looks really cool. Like around this part of it. Yeah, I want an angle from there when it's textured. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. Like a war room.
Yeah, cartography room.
A war room.
I don't know if you saw the cage, but it's empty. It's got like a bent bars at the back, like Psychic escaped from it.
That's cute.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that'd be interesting. I made that a while ago like that, and then I texted it the other day. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is longer than I wanted to because I am actually really, really hot. Yeah, it's too hot at the moment. I kind of want to go downstairs. It's the fact that I'm second story of the house as well, so all the heat just rises up here. So I got my computer making heat, my body making heat because I'm a very hot man, and then all the heat from downstairs is just whoosh, coming up to this
Mate,
part of the
I'm
house.
the 4th story in the building, at the top floor.
Dude, I bet it's so
in a super narrow room.
Mm.
I keep the door shut so Zoe doesn't get annoyed or doesn't have to listen to us yabbering away.
I thought you just said I don't have to listen to her. I was like, oof.
No.
Yikes. We should play Code Vein soon. I don't know if I'm gonna have time today because it's a bit hot and I don't really want to sit
probably
anymore.
not today. You could do it some evening in the week.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting the chat to know all of this.
Yeah. Finish your stream and then we'll talk about it.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you sort of enjoyed the process of making a bucket. It's sort of how I make all my assets in this scene, so it's good sort of look at how everything else has been made if you've not been here before. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.
Later, squad.